bodies. And the Commission we launched today will review, will assess and decide upon these claims, determining the compensation due in each case. I take also this occasion to express my deep gratitude to the Netherlands for co-hosting the diplomatic conference, and to Prime Minister Zorf for his government's unwavering commitment to this cause. As we know, today is a significant milestone, but we must move forward with urgency. The Convention will enter into force once 25 countries have ratified it and sufficient funding is secured. And I call here on all signatories to expedite their ratification processes in order to allow us to go fast. The Council of Europe's commitment to Ukraine extends far beyond this compensation mechanism. We are also supporting Ukraine's democratic reconstruction across multiple fronts, strengthening the rule of law, protecting human rights, fighting corruption, and building the institutions that will secure Ukraine's European future. And today's achievement is the result of this extraordinary international solidarity. I just want also to mention that 44 states and the European Union have joined the register of damage. More than 50 states sent representatives to this conference, and this is multilateralism at its best, nations united by shared values, working together to uphold international law and human dignity. And maybe let me conclude with this. The International Claims Commission is about more than compensation. It is about recognition. It is about ensuring that history records not just the crimes committed, but also the international community's response. It is about hope, I said this before, hope that justice, however delayed, will ultimately prevail.
Thank you, Secretary General. High Representative, please.
Yes. Thank you. Good day, everybody. Secretary General Berset, dear Alan, it is great pleasure to be here in Hague today. We are making very important decisions for holding Russia financially accountable for the war damages it has caused in Ukraine. The work of the Council of Europe has done to set up the Claims Commission for Ukraine is vital and can make a difference. Everybody here today is on the same page. Russia will not escape the bill for the homes, schools, hospitals it has destroyed in Ukraine. Ukrainians have already filed more than 86,000, I heard, claims for compensation. Each one of them is a life interrupted and a future put on hold. After 4 years of war, more than 200,000 buildings in Ukraine have been destroyed or damaged, and some 2.5 million homes, houses and flats are no longer fit to live in. And this is only one category of the registry. The Claims Commission now has the task to determine what is owed for this destruction, not in abstract figures, but in real losses suffered by real people. History shows it can be done. After Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, for example, or by the Commission for Property Claims in Bosnia and Herzegovina. But every example holds the same hard lesson. Justice is a process that takes time. The Commission will be the most difficult to implement because Russia will never pay voluntarily for the devastation it has caused. This is precisely why the widest possible international commitment is necessary, including from the participants of this International Claims Commission conference, to keep up the pressure. Secretary General Berset, you can count on the European Union's full support. Today, I'm proud to announce €1 million from the EU to support the establishment of the Claims Commission. As long as Russia refuses to end its war, the number of claims for compensation will continue to go up. We see every day that Russia almost exclusively hits civilian targets. It chooses to strike where it can cause maximum damage to the civilians. This is not in accordance with the international humanitarian law. Only over the weekend, more than 1 million households were without electricity because Russian strikes on the energy infrastructure. Families were left in the dark just as temperatures drop below zero. This is not by accident, it is by design. Russia's terror tactics follow a ruthless pattern to freeze cities, to shatter homes, to break the will of the people it seeks to destroy. But this has failed, and we need to make sure it will continue to fail. We do this by increasing the pressure on Russia and strengthening Ukraine's defenses. Just yesterday, the EU imposed new sanctions on Russian oil traders and Shadow Fleet ships. These steps help to deprive Moscow of the funds to wage this war. In parallel, we also work to build up the legal framework to hold Russia to account for its war and other atrocities, also for the crime of aggression. All this work sends a clear message to would-be aggressors. If you start the war, you will be held to account. Thank you again.
Thank you, High Representative. The floor is now open for your questions. Please identify yourself and your media outlet, and please use the microphone that my colleague has. So the gentleman in the second row, please.
Matt Steinglass from The Economist. Ms. Kallas, you said in the last 2 days that getting frozen assets used for a reparations loan to Ukraine looks increasingly difficult. Do you still think that it's increasingly difficult, and is that partly because of pressure from the United States?
It is difficult because we are 27 member states, 27 democracies, and that's why usually the decisions we take are extremely difficult. We are in this point where our Belgian colleagues are under a lot of pressure from different sides, my feeling is that the sooner we do this European solution, the sooner the pressure from Belgium will be actually off, because then it will be a Belgian solution, which means that if you are not happy with the solution, you can go to court against the European Union, because Belgium is just abiding the law. And that's why it is in the interest of all of us in the European Union, as well as Ukraine, that we get this done, and we get this done now, and we don't push it any further.
Thank you. Next question, second row, please.
My question is for you, Secretary General. My name is Simone Piek. I'm from the Dutch newspaper NRC, and I was wondering if you could tell me something about the conditions for the claims and whether the circa 4 million Ukrainians under occupation can also apply for damages.
I mean, basically, thank you for this question. First of all, maybe I just want to bring some few elements about what we are doing now. We have 14 categories open for registration until now. We will have at the end of 43. It is ongoing work. We have 86,000 claims registered until now, and it will increase quite rapidly from now. That's the first point. And basically, I mean, it is possible for everybody to ask for reparation in the consequences of the war. And then we will have to install this Claims Commission very soon. Thank you very much for the strong support you just announced right now. I mean, we need to do this together to make it happen. And I just want also to insist on one point. When we created the register 2 years ago, it was not clear if we will succeed. And we see now that it is possible, being clear on the line, to make steps one after another and to make progress and to have really good developments. Until today, 35 countries for the very first day signing the convention establishing the Claims Commission. We need now to do this, and it must be open to everybody.
Next question, first row, please.
Hello, Luca Ciangelia, Rostavitu, Georgia. Now I want to ask you about the global politics as it is actively discussed in the case of Ukraine too. For example, my question is to High Representative Kaja Kallas. Ms. Kallas, the European Union many times stated that Georgia could not become the part of European Union with its rhetorics about Europe bureaucracy, about European Union. Now we see that the same narratives in the US strategy of security. And what is your answer to that? Since Washington's rhetoric now aligns with the Tbilisi's, are you prepared to accuse the Trump administration of following Kremlin-dictated script, or does this expose a fundamental double standard in your policy toward Georgia? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the difference is that the United States is not trying to join the European Union. Of course, the national security strategy, what we read from there, it's not a pleasant reading, and we have taken this approach that we are not going to meddle with our allies' internal politics. So when it comes to Georgia, the main problem is that when on one side Georgia is saying that they want to join the European Union and take the European path, we see the steps going into totally wrong direction by the government. So it is a signal to the government that as long as they continue with these policies of suppressing opposition, pressuring free media, or all these steps that go in contradiction with the values of European Union, there is no European Union future for Georgia.
About Georgia, if I may, just want to recall that Georgia is since many years now a member of the Council of Europe, also present this morning to sign the convention, and it is a very good element. But at the same time, we need to make some progress working together as a member of the Council of Europe. As you know, we have been in regular contacts, and it is important to find a way again to have convergence about the values, about the commitments that we have regarding all the elements that makes that we are one continent with 46 member states for the Council of Europe.
We have time for one more question. Gentleman in the second row, please.
Thanks very much. Richard Carter from AFP. I had a question about the ratification process to you, Secretary General, if I may. You said that that would only take place once the funding was in place. Can you give us a flavour of a timeline for that? How soon do you expect that to occur? And maybe for both of you, if I may, you talked about this convention representing hope for tens of thousands of victims. Can you address yourself a little bit to them? Can you put yourself in the shoes of someone in Ukraine who might be seeking some sort of reparation? What's your message for them? Thank you.
The first point is, it must be really clear. I mean, we are doing this to have reparation. And there will be reparation. I mean, it's not possible, if we fail totally to have this, I mean, it means that we are not more living in a world where the rule of law, accountability, and peaceful relations are possible. That means we will do the best and the maximum to have accountability and to have reparations for, first of all, for individuals. And that means it must be the message to the Ukrainian population. You can count on us to continue on this path. But at the same time, as it was said this morning, it could take some time. It could take some time. The most important thing, we make progress, we continue, we don't stop to work on this, and we will achieve this, and it is a very start and strong step that we can have today. Then clearly, the discussion about the funding and the money will be made in the few next weeks and months after this decision of this morning. We know that it will be difficult, exactly as it was difficult to say what will happen after the register. And 2 years later, we have the Claims Commission this morning with a very strong step, and we must continue with this really clear messages and to continue on this. Now, the time frame, because it is also the question that you are raising. I mean, the establishment of the compensation fund is expected within a time frame of approximately 12 to 18 months. We are speaking in months. And then, clearly, payments to victims would follow once the fund is operational and claims have been examined. That's the point. That's why we need also to have a clear and strong legal framework to make this happen.
On my side, I think the message to the people is that we haven't forgotten that you have suffered. For any peace, you need to have accountability. And we are taking this very seriously. That's why we are moving on with this Claims Commission, but we are also moving on with the special tribunal regarding the crimes of aggression and the war crimes. Because, you know, for any peace, if you look into history all over the world, I mean, the accountability and the justice is a very important thing for the people. It is not even so much that if you get the compensation for the full damage you caused, because, you know, some that was caused, some you know, damage cannot be put in numbers as well, but it's more, you know, that the accountability, that there is justice. Every time if you talk to the people who have suffered in different wars, then they also want to see those who did this damage to be held accountable, and that is what we are striving for here.
Thank you. I would like to thank you for your comments and responses. And Secretary General, do you want to close this?
Just to thank you all, to thank also the High Representative, dear Kaya, for the presence today and for supporting the work of the Council of Europe. Accountability is a very important part of all the discussion we need to have now, including on the peace talks and for the long-term future of Ukraine. We have for this the European Court on Human Rights, you know, the most important body of the Council of Europe. We have the Claims Commission from this morning. Thank you for the support in the Council of Europe with the register. And we will have also in the context of the Council of Europe, we have a bilateral agreement with Ukraine to do this, the special tribunal. And I can announce you that we are working on all those elements, and that we will start with the team working on the special tribunal while making the next step in few days. So thank you very much for the presence to this conference, and have a good day.
Thank you. This press conference is concluded.